also...
Let's begin with Mr. Potts, because it appears that his bond has already been set by the home court. Jordan Potts?
Your Honor, based on a conversation with my boss, he indicated that we would like to have an opportunity to argue on Mr. Potts' bond amount.
All right, very well. Hold on one second. Mr. Potts, sir, good morning. You're charged with a first-degree felony of murder. This is a warrant case. That means that another judge has already found probable cause for the case to go forward. This case is going to go to the 338th District Court. Will you need a court-appointed attorney from the judge in the 338th, Ramona Franklin?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll allow the argument on bond. However, I do want to remind both counsel that I don't think there's anything I can do about a district court's order. So would you like Ms. Cronville to argue on your behalf for a bond this morning, Mr. Potts?
Yes, yes, you can.
All right. Ms. Candidate, what's the state's position on bond for Mr. Potts?
Your Honor, the state is requesting the amount set by the court, which is $1 million. The state is against a pretrial release based on the facts. This defendant was extradited from Oregon. The state filed a motion requesting no weapons, alcohol, drugs, GPS, curfew, house arrest, travel restriction to Harris County. The state is further against a pretrial release on order GA-13, current physical violence.
All right, very well. Thank you, Ms. Candidate. Ms. Cronville.
Yes, Your Honor. For Mr. Potts, we are going to be requesting a $50,000 bond. We're making that request based off of the following information. There was a written motion filed in this case originally where the state requested a $75,000 bond, and that was filed by ADA Paul Hartman when this case was originally filed and the warrant was issued out of the home court. As far as community safety is concerned, I know the state mentioned the parole issue that's mentioned on the criminal history. However, I believe that offense, based on the timing, would have allegedly occurred while Mr. Potts was a juvenile in the state of Oregon, assuming that is his history. We don't have any information on what type of offense that is or whether it is a violent offense. In fact, I've seen cases out of other states where there are offenses that would not be classified as felonies that are classified as felonies in other states. For example, all license suspended in Florida. If you have prior convictions, it is a felony. So we believe at this time, based on the PSA, he does not have any violent or other convictions of any kind. And in light of the only history we've been produced, he's lived at the same address in the Houston area for the past year and the general Houston area for 4 years. He has a history of employment. He has worked for IKEA during the pandemic, and prior to that, he worked consistently for FedEx for 4 years. Consistent employment shows ties to the community, reliable transportation, and compliance with people's requested orders, those in authority over the person, and consistency and reliability, responsibility. He will be getting a ride back to court with friends or family members, or will take public transit to return to the courthouse. So we're requesting that $50,000 bond at this time. No position. Oh, and we're also, for purposes of making this hearing argument, we are citing 1517's requirements that a hearing occur once someone is arrested. At the time that the bond amount was set by the trial court, no full 1517 hearing could have occurred, as the client was not in custody or able to provide any information regarding his financial situation, which I believe, according to his affidavit, he is indigent, and he did indicate he does not have funds for bail at this time, or anyone he can call to assist him in raising money for bail. So $50,000, no position.
All right. Well, number one, thank you, Ms. Cronville. Number one, by setting a bond in this case, I believe Judge Franklin's court has already taken jurisdiction. I do not believe I have the authority to overrule that bond, nor am I inclined to do so at this time. Mr. Potts, I am going to leave your bond as set by Judge Franklin in the amount of $1 million. I'm also going to issue a bond supervision order that should you make this bond, you're to have no contact with the state's witnesses in this case. And that's going to be Ms. Shawtyeria Waits or Mr. Gerald Rainwater. Also, you must surrender your passport within the next business day after release. You are required to remain within Harris and surrounding counties, you may not use or possess any firearms or other weapons. I do want you to get an actually we're going to do a GPS device within a day of your release, and there will be a curfew. Basically, it's house arrest between the hours of 6:01 p.m. and 6 p.m. 7 days a week, unless you hear otherwise from Judge Franklin. Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Potts, please step over and see the deputies. They'll tell you what to do next. Good luck.